through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the
Good
way.
Welcome to African Youth Invention, the AYI Training Center. I'm Emery Lukombo. I will be discussing about Microsoft Word 2019 on video 4 with class 4. So on this video, we will be finalize the insert tab command about the remaining part of insert tab, and then we're gonna go for design tab and also a layout tab. Finally, on the end of the video, we'll design a professional CV design as a project which we will complete at the end of the video. So I'm gonna go straight to the Microsoft Word. So if you want to design first a CV, first you need to do is to go or open a Microsoft Word. Like I can come here, open a Microsoft Word, and once you open a Microsoft Word, you need to make sure you got internet connection, and then just go to your search bar and tap CV, and then search for CV, and then you find different type of a CV online, which is please you, which one please you. So let's say this one please you, or maybe this, and then you choose one of them. I can choose this one here and create. Now these are the templates as discussed on video 1. You can come here and edit this to where you want. So before we discuss about the CV, I'm gonna first go discuss about design, layout, and also the remaining part for insert to these two commands we haven't discussed for the previous video. So I'm gonna go to a file and create a new document. Now from the new document, what you need to do here, we're gonna first discuss about the insert tab. I'm gonna go to insert tab and discuss about these two parts remain. Now the first one is a question. A question allows you to write mathematics in Microsoft Word. So how do you do? You're gonna go click a question and choose any here, and once you choose there, you go to tab. So this tab it's a tab that will allow you to design anything you want to design. So first thing I'll come here, I will tap maybe B, and I'll say equal. I can delete this one. Now you come here, you go to all the structure symbols, symbol of the mathematics here. You can go by group per group. First, I'll use a fraction. I can come here. Maybe B is equal to maybe 5. I click inside here and click divide by 2, and then use your left and key button, and then you go there and then you say plus, and then you go to maybe a script. I'll use a script. So I will choose now. You got different group of scripts. So based on what you write, because before you write math, you got a paper or a document that have a question. So you follow the instruction based on your view. So do I have a base, a subscript, or a superscript? So if I go to superscript, I'll click here and I'll put maybe 10 at the power, maybe 2. So click in the box. And once you finish, you click left and right key button, and then say plus. You move on left side, plus, and then I want to use maybe a radical. So I'll choose this one. Maybe I'll go to 2 at the square 5. I will put here, and I put 2 here, square maybe 5. Then I'll go back, say plus, and then maybe I'll go to bracket. I'll choose a bracket, and inside the bracket I can say 25 plus, maybe 10. I'm going to go out, I'm going to say plus integral, so I can come here and choose a category of my integral. I can say like this, maybe I got 2 here, and I'll click here, I got 5, and I got maybe 20, maybe gx. Now the question can be maybe. Now once you finish here, let's say on a solve this question, you can just copy this, and copy, highlight, and copy, and go on the bottom, and paste them. Once you paste them, and then you can just change, modify 5 divided by 2, so 10 to the power 2, this is going to be 100. I can just rewrite this 100. And 2 root 5 or 20 plus 10, it's going to be, I can summarize this, is going to be 30. And 2, 5, 20, the x, and then carry on. So if you simplify this until you copy the same, a question and click at the bed down. Let me change this number to make it a nice number, say 10. So this is going to be 5 to make it easier. So from here, I will have 105 so far. And I want to put the sample number. So let's say this is a 4. Did that place? Okay. So once you get like this, you can always simplify until you finish your question. Now that is a simple one. And the second one, if I want to write a matrix, so I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to choose this the matrix. Now the matrix mostly work with this. So first I will choose the bracket, and then I use this bracket, which is going to be maybe this. And then once you have, you can delete this one, highlight the other one you don't want, delete them. And then inside here, I'm gonna go click the matrix group, maybe 2 by 3 or 3 by 2 or 3 by 3. So apply 3 by 3 and go on each block, put 1, put the number on your matrix, maybe 5, maybe 6, 8, maybe sorry. Put the number. Once you finish, you click here. I can also copy this. So just repeat the same. I just click here, say plus, and then paste them. Or if you don't want this, you can just restart something, maybe 2 by 2 plus another matrix. So I'm just not go back and choose the type of bracket, which is this. And the inside, click inside, and then go apply maybe 3 by 3, and then also do the same thing. So in the case I want a letter here, I can put maybe x equal, and then I can put 2. Now that's going to be a question 2. So let's say I'm going to go plus, or maybe subtract, or maybe multiplication. So you see this symbol, I'm tapping, all the symbols are here. You can just come here if you want infinity, equal, or multiplication, division, all these small or small than or bigger than. So you use this symbol. All you need to do is just to click. I can come here, I can say this is maybe multiply by maybe 20, maybe I finish. So I can just copy this and then go to the next second and then paste it and simplify it. So like if you copy this like this, you can go to home and then click down. So highlight, and then you can just copy from here and then click down and then paste them. So and then simplify this group to show the question how to work. Now that's how you can do math to this question, and then replace this maybe -2, and then 2 maybe 5 year, 4 year, for AC and 2 AC. So I can say equal and then simplify. Let's say your AC it's maybe 2 by maybe 2. Okay, this multiplication I can do. I can sometimes I can use the one here by 4. And then our 2, it was 2, so I'll put 2 here, our A, and then simplify the questions, and then you get, so I can say this is equal, I can just highlight this, and then I can say this is the same thing equal. I can say 4 part 2, it's going to be 16, and 2 by 4, 8, and plus 4, also going to be 16, 2 by 4, 8, and 4 by 8. Okay, now you're going to have like -32, and then you're going to have a 4 here. We can carry on, say equal, until you come to the end. Simplify the 16 by 90. So until you get what you want, modify it. Or you can also, if you want to do on the bottom side, I can just copy this. I can go to insert, so the home, and then cut that. And then I'll go to the bottom and then paste that. I'll highlight this, cut that, and then I paste the bottom, paste that, so you can show your question everywhere. Now that's how you can write math in Microsoft Word. I'm gonna go to the last part of here. I'm gonna go to symbol. Now what is symbol? Symbol mostly, when you wanna write a message, I'm gonna go get the text. Now, example of this one, I have a text here. And I'm looking for symbol. Like if you see here, this is a word. It's like in French is a word. This is like most of these article letters are French letter, which is if you're using an English keyboard, you're not gonna find this on the keyboard. So in a case like this, if I write this word like re, I put like a R, and I wanna put this E, so I'm gonna go to insert. I'm gonna go to symbol, and then go to more symbol and look for that symbol. I can put here two decimal, and I'll look for that particular letter with this, and I insert it, and I'll continue the read, and then when I finish I can just now say SUM, and then I need another E like this. I'm gonna go back to more symbol and then look again, another one like this, and insert it. So you can insert any symbol that you see you don't find in your keyboard by coming here and look for more symbol. All the symbols are inside here. You can insert them if you don't find in your keyboard. Or like if your keyboard doesn't work, the letter does not work. So let's say my keyboard, I'm tapping maybe a need, and then the G is not working in my keyboard. So I can go to Microsoft Word, go to symbol, and then look for a G symbol. So I will go and drag here, look for, there's a B, C, D. So you look for this small letter, there's a D small letter, and insert it, and then I have the G letters. And then continue G. I'm gonna go to design. Now, what is a design? A design is a tab that composed with some command that you need in order for you to design your document properly when you're formatting a document. So when I come here, I do have a theme. What's a theme? A theme is actually a group changing the format, like beauty, mostly like a background, a nice view. Mostly you apply more theme on PowerPoint. On Microsoft Word, not gonna use it the most. So like if I change here to change this group another form, so that this I use for you to set a specific size or form of your document. Now, if I want to change this to a specific font, I need to go to Home and then change the font and then change the size. But now this can be a waste of time in the case you're working in a company that every day you're using the same document. So you can use as what we discussed on the video one, create your style, or you can go to design and then use an existing document formatting and I give a specific form. You see every time when I change, my word change. So it's giving me a specific form that design already. But mostly, you're gonna have to create your own style because sometimes this default one are not gonna suit with what you expected. So I will prefer to create my one. So you select like this, and then you go to font. You choose which font you use most of the time. Like I mostly use maybe use Era, and then you can come here by paragraph. How do you expect your paragraph to be? No paragraph shape or compose or tight, open, relax, W. You can see what happened. It's apply everything like space line, sizes, choose until when you are happy. Like mostly type is better. Doesn't take too much time. I put type, and then I'm gonna go to FA. What is FA? FA will make clear on your word. In a case like you're using a color word, can make some effect on your word. You see when you apply, there will be slightly some change on your paragraph. And then the font, you choose a font, the color, you can choose a group, the same thing, you can change a color. So once you are happy with this, you can come here and then save a style, a new style. So what it means, if I save this new style, I will give it a name. Once you give it a name, I can say maybe Bob. Now I save a style called Bob. Now I'm gonna highlight this word. I'm gonna first change it another size. I'll put it something different. So I'm gonna select here, and then I wanna go to design here, and then you see the Bob here is lying. If you put your mouse, it shows the name there. So apply this. Automatically, take this word, apply everything like a error and the same size, everything. Now that it's a benefit of create your own style because it saves your time and you use the same every time. And then this group here, it's mostly when you create a background of your page. Firstly, it's a watermark. What is a watermark? A watermark is mostly what you found on the document. Well, like if you confidentially document, like you don't want people to make your fake paper, mostly on a certificate, on bank settlement. you'll use this. So you're gonna come here, click watermark, and then choose confidentially. You'll see on my document there is a background word say confidential. Let me zoom down. Confidential. So you can put your own word. I'm gonna go here, right click, and then you can choose like draft everything here. So if you want to put your own name or image, you're gonna go to customer watermark. Click customer watermark, and then by customer watermark, you will decide are you gonna put a text, or are you gonna put no watermark, or a picture. If I select a picture, I can select and go look for a picture online or in my computer. So depending where you're gonna get your picture. That take you in. So if it say form file, you take the image in your computer, like a logo. Mostly you're gonna use a logo. I can use a logo under this one here. I'm gonna go to desktop, take the AYI logo, and then I'll choose this logo and insert this logo on the back. I say okay. You will see I've got a logo on all my documents for AYI. If I wanna go change it to something to your own image, it's up to you. You can go to customer and select the picture, and then you can go to online, look for any picture or any logo or whatever, and you insert on your background. But if I wanted text, I'm gonna say change to text water, and then you come here, there's a language. Which language you wanna use for your writing, you choose here, Afrikaans, all this language like Arabic, Xhosa, Zulu, or all this language, whatever language you choose here. You can go to text, and then on the text, you change the text base what you want to write. Let's say I want to write about my name, my surname, and I put Lukombo. Or I want to write my name, I just want to put Imeri. And I will say, okay. Now you see I got Imeri on background. I'm going to go lastly, and I'm going to go to customer. And then you can also change the color. If you see here, you can choose the font of your text. I can choose any font I like. And I can also choose the color. Mostly color, don't put too much coloring, because why? Whenever this watermark is included, when you print the paper, people when the scan copy doesn't come properly, it shows that it's a fake paper. So it's give guarantee to show, to compare the original and the fake paper. When they copy or scan it, it doesn't come. But if you put a huge color like this, something like this apply, you see when they make copy, they will get correctly, because you have mostly it's applied so that people mustn't scan it or mustn't make a fake copy, because most of the copies don't come rightly. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to customer watermark and always use a color like something a little bit light, mustn't be too color. Automatically size, you can choose bigger size or small size, up to you. Now that's and apply. I'm gonna change this color a little bit. And then you close. Now that's how you can do. You can see I put the small size. That's it. So if you don't want the watermark, just come here and click remove the watermark. The second one, it's a page color. Mostly the document, when you open the Microsoft Word, your document is defaulted to white color. So if you don't want a white color, you're gonna click here and then choose any background color you want. Now that's how you create your own background. In a case like this, because this I did copy and paste it, so you want to type your own word, I will do like this. I can go create and insert a new blank page. Now from the new blank page, I can type the word. I'm gonna go back to design. You can choose any color. If you don't want any background color, you remove it. And mostly you find on the CV they put a page border. So if you go here, you can put your page border. So what you do first, you choose your line first here, which line that you like. Once you choose your line, it automatically apply in your page. If you click here, it remove that side and the other sides, which means I'm only going to have a line on top and then a bottom. So I click here, you see here, I have another line on top, but there's no other line here. So I can go back to page border. And if I want the line on the left, I'll click here, I have a line. I can change this line to another form. I can say, no, I want this to be on the left. And I want on the right to choose another line. I want this line to be on the line. So I say okay, and then I have different lines on my page border. I'm gonna go back, but mostly you just use the same line because it does not look professionally. But sometimes you can also create a funny thing. I can use something like this on top, and then I can use something like this on the left and the right. And say okay. Now this is what you get. Once you do the borderline. So if I want to also change the size of that line, I can come here, click here, and then change the size, make it more bigger. And I can also change the color of the lines. So I can say now apply this line color like this, and the line will become a color. As well, if I go to page border, I can also choose this group. You find this mostly on the youth. They like to use funny things like this, and then that's what you get. Now that was design. So design actually allowed you to make something beauty and nice or save some style. If you're not happy with this borderline, go back to borderline and say remove, 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 and then the borderline is out. I'm gonna go to layout. Now on layout, it's where you lay out your document. So mostly before you start a document, do anything, the first thing you do is what you call a layout. So it's like creating your houses. You must first have a foundation before to build your house. So layout, it's like whenever you start a new document, you have first to start with layout. The first group is called margin. What is a margin? A margin is a limit of the word. If you see my word here, my word does not pass this on left. On the right side does not go above this one. I can go change this alignment and go to home and then put it adjustable. You see, whenever I'm tapping here, it's not going to go above this. It just go down until stop. So that is to give you a document need look nice, because if I print it, if this word start from here to the end, it'll look dirty, it'll look nice. So this is called a margin. From this is a left margin, right margin, top margin, and then the bottom margin will be somewhere. So you can change this size. If I go back to layout, I can say I want my margin to be narrow. Look at the difference between this gap in here. When I put narrow, and now it sees only remain small. So if I go back, I can also put wider. So wider I have a big. So whenever I'm tapping, no way will go above these lines. So I'm gonna go back to Office. But if you want your own sizes, mostly in the book, you're gonna go to Customer Margin. Now by Customer Margin, you got everything: top, centimeter, left, bottom, and then right. So if I want the top one, this is a top side to be 0. Most things allowed me. I'm not going top. I'm gonna put minimize it. Put 0 point at least 5. Ignore. Apply it. Okay. So you say ignore. Apply it. So I'm gonna go back to customer margin. So I'm gonna change the left side. The same thing. I'm gonna put 0. I'm just clicking down 0.1. And I say okay. I say ignore it, apply it. Now look now here. Imagine you tapping a document like this. When they print it, it look dirty. I'm gonna also do the same thing on left side. Look what happened. I'm gonna go to the left side. This is our to the right side. Sorry, this is the right side. I'm gonna put a 0.01 and apply it. Say ignore. Now, do you see, you cannot give a document like this to a person. It look neat when you print it. Now, that's where you got a margin. So you can control this limit between this side and this one. So what you do, you come here and set the correct, I can say, put 0.5, and also put 0.5 on left, on the right. And then you see, I say ignore it. They say at least this gap is fine. But mostly you will use a normal. This is a normal. It's set to automatically for you. Except if you want to fit more weight in your document, then you can use a narrow. Now that's a benefit of that one. Orientation like this page, what you have, it's in portrait. So sometimes you will need to have your document in the form of landscape. If I tap more letters, form like this in portrait view. But if I go to orientation landscape, now for a draw table, it's fit nice in here. This table will fit already on size of landscape. If I change my page to portrait, and then it's gonna mess my table. Look at table. If I zoom, and I don't want to view like this. I want to view one line because it looks so neat. So I prefer to use landscape because it can fit properly. In which that on landscape, your higher of the page, it's smaller than your wave. The wave is bigger. But in the portrait forms, the higher is longer, and then the wave is small. So depending on what you're doing. Mostly diagram, image, big image or tables, we prefer to change the page to for landscape. Sizes. Size are different size of pages. So if you go online, printing size, you're gonna see the size A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7. Now, these are the size that you find in industry. If you don't have other size, you must create your own size. So mostly, what we use most of the time when you type a document, it's A4 size. So A4 size, you need to make sure you set your computer to the size. I will keep it A4. Or if I don't want A4, I'm gonna use A5. I'm gonna go to more, and then you can check here. Do you have A5? There's no A5 in my system here. So if you don't have A5, you go online, and then you tap. They say A5 148 millimeter by 210 millimeter. So I'm gonna go back to my document. Depend if I'm doing a landscape page, so my height will be small and then my wave will be bigger. But if I'm doing like portrait, I'll keep the wave. This is a bit longer and this is smaller. So I'm gonna put 148 centimeter here, 148 centimeter here, which is, if you go back to here, it say 1A5 148 millimeter to 10. So I need to be careful. So I need to put a comma here because this is centimeter, it's not millimeter. I'm measuring here by millimeter. So I put 14.8. And the same thing on this side. I'm gonna go put, they say their wave it's 210. So I'm gonna put 21 centimeter, convert it to 2 centimeter, gonna be 21. And I say okay. Now this is A5. So very, very important. If you're designing a page, before you continue, you must make sure your size is set. If you make a mistake, when you print, it's gonna be small or bigger. So first thing you do, make sure you set your size of the page. If you want A3 size or A10 size or everything, you need first to get the proper size online and then change your size setting. Follow up, it's a column on the word. Like if I want to make my page like mostly in the book, you will see there's a group of words. So I can highlight this and then I'm going to go to layout and I come here. I want to have 2 lines like this. I want to have 3 lines like this. And I want to have left bigger and then right. So you set, if you're not happy for this, go to more columns and then choose your own column. I can say I want a 4 column and I can say that the distance between them, which is this. I can say the other one must be small like this. The spacing, I can put 1 spacing and say okay, now I have this 5 line. Mostly the book is, so sometimes also you can start the document like this. So I will come here, I'll say no, I want a 2 column. So the system knows that you got 2 column. Whenever you're tapping like this, it's gonna only stop on the 1 column until when you finish the first column. When like you can see I'm tapping here, I just hold my key buttons, and then automatically it's now go back on top to the second column. So if this first column finish, that's a benefit for columns. And I can also control this gap here. So as the space, I can go to more space and minimize the space. I say no, that space is too big. And then I have this. The more less space, the more word you're gonna enter. And that's what you can do on a space. Now follow up as a break page. I'm gonna come back for break page. The left-ended and spacing. I can highlight this word. It's the same thing when I put a margin. So I can set a margin to start on my left to start like this, on left side to start maybe to start somewhere here, so that it can be bigger on left. But this will affect the entire pages. So in order for me to do it only for a particular paragraph, I would prefer to use indented. So I'm going to undo first. So if I want this, I can come like this. Let's say I have a paragraph. I want this paragraph to start somewhere here. I'll highlight this paragraph and I'll indent it. I'll say, no, you must go more from left to more. Okay, so I force this paragraph to start here. The same thing on the right. If I want them to stop somewhere here, I want to show indented. So this word This particular paragraph will never go above here and will never go at this side. And there's a spacing. I can put a spacing before them or after them. So that's what you can do. And this one follow up here, these are the same thing that you view on, if you go back to design on chart when you did on the video 3. If you set a sharp like this, you will see we discuss about this send further away, bring further away, send, rotation. The same thing if I go to design, if I'm working something, I'm gonna go to layout and I have the same option, bring further away, send further away, section pan, everything the same thing. I'll copy the text and I'll paste it here. Now this text, if I tap like this, and I'm gonna go to press enter and I'll go to second page and then paste the stuff now here. Now if you look at this word, it's lying somewhere here. I'm gonna go display, go to view and display a ruler. Now it's lying on the second here, So if I make any change on top, whenever tapping the word, press enter, like moving down. The more the word is moving down, the more also my stuff on the blow start moving. Like here, it was by 2. You see, it was here in the beginning. It's moving down because they work together. But if I go back to the one I used for the break page, I go back to this document. If I change here, I press enter. I change here, I press enter. This way does not move on the second page because why? There is a break page between these. So I can modify anything on this page, will not affect anything on this page because there is a break page between these two pages. Now that's the benefits of break page because I don't want anything I change here must move everything from bottom, like I'm tapping here, everything from bottom moving. But if we compare with this one, you will see if I zoom down here, zoom in. Whenever I'm tapping something here, I press enter, I can see it affects everything below because there's no break page here. That's the purpose for break page. If I go back to layout, there is another one called a column break. A column break, when you're using a column break, I can highlight like this. And then when you're using a column, like you have 2 columns. So you can highlight this and then apply a column break because you don't want, whenever I'm tapping something here, must affect anything on this column. So I can apply a column break here. So, but because it doesn't finish, anything I tap here will not affect this column side. That's a column break. Text wrap, like when you insert a text, the text here, when you wrap this text wrap, you can see it's going to wrap. You can wrap it the way you want it. So you can also set a text wrap break. So whenever I move, does not affect other text on my document. The section, and what the section does, if I press a section, I can divide this page and this page. Like in the case, I want this page to be landscape. I'm gonna go to layout and I'll put landscape. Automatically it's landscape, but this remain portrait. But if I don't have a section break, if I go to another document like here, I don't have a section break here, I'm gonna go to the layout. Once I say change this page to landscape, everything will change because they are all one section. So if I say put in portrait, everything will change the portrait. So in order for you to change the other group to be in landscape, you have to apply a sections. So like if I go back again to the same document, I have a portrait, landscape, all the remaining down will be landscape. So what I'll do now here, I can put my table here and drawing here. Now maybe I finished for drawing. I want to include a new page, but the new page I want him to be I want this page to be in portrait. So I have to include again a section page. I'm gonna go to here, break, and I say section page. Then from here, I can go change to portrait. It's changed because why? The section page. To view this section and break page, how to view them? Go to home and then display the paragraph mark. Click here and it shows you where is your section. You can see I got section break here. Then I can manipulate this area. And the same thing, I also got a section break here. Then I can also manipulate this page to be different. We can also control the different headers as well, different footer. We will discuss about section break page on video 6 because we write a book and then write different chapters. So explain how to write book in Microsoft Word as a project. And the last one on the layout is this section event page. Like if you want your page number, when you set your page number to on 2, 4, 6, 8, you can use here and you create the event page numbers. The old number, you can apply this, and then your page will have only page number, which only have 1, 3, 5, 5, and 7. There's not going to be an even number on your page number, so that can apply this one. The other one, it's lines. I want to count how many lines I have in this page or in my entire document. I'm not going to insert, so the layout, and then I'll come here and then choose continued line and show me the line. I give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how many lines it shows on my document. So if you don't want it, you can none, and you can say restart each page line. You display the line, reset a line, everything in it, but I'll put none. I-fination, it's applied mostly like if I'm writing a document, put adjustable. Now you will see here, now this system, it's forced the weight down. There will be too much gap on your weight because of tap the font to use a mark to say, no, this word can continue down here. You can come here and change the I-finance like this, or to I-finance. You see now here, now my word are not tight, are tight now, are normal, it's look neat, not because the word distribution is supposed to be on the first line, but because it's too long, and my margin start here, and then the system continue to down, and then they say this word is continue, and put the alpha mark to say this word is continue on the second line. But if I say no, don't use the alpha mark or use none, automatically because the word distribution is too long to be on the margin, the system will force it on to go on the second line, but it will leave more gaps on my words. Can you see there's more gap, which you don't feel it when you print it, but it doesn't look professionally. So you need to make sure you use the right font and the right margin so your work can look nice. So I want to go back to see if you apply hyphen, what's the difference. Let's say we go to home and then increase the size. And then we have like employee supposed to fall on the first line, but it's too long, so it continues in hyphen. Now that is a purpose for hyphen. If I go to layout, you can decide your way to be in hyphen in case it's too long, or leave it none, and the system will force it the way you want it. Now that's a benefit for layout. I believe you understand everything. Now we're gonna go to design a project. As discussed in the beginning, we're going to design this CV from scratch. If you want to design a CV, you can go to new and then look for template. You can just tap CV, but you have to make sure you got access internet like this at a CV, and then search, and you will get more template, and then you choose one of those template which you think that's gonna be good for you. Let's say as I've discussed, you can choose any template here and modify, create, and then modify this information with your own information. But in our case, we're going to design this CV which I get online. It's one of the CV I get online which we design from scratch as you're learning a Microsoft Word. So it's going to be more advantage to start something from scratch by yourself. So what I need to do first, I'm gonna go open a new file. I'm gonna go file and a new document, blank page, and then I'm gonna use view. If you go to view, you can switch to another document. I'm gonna switch to a second document, which is I don't need this. I close this one, so I don't save. I'm gonna go to switch to the CV template. Now there's a CV template. The first thing you will do, we'll use a table and shape to create this CV. So what you need, I'm gonna create a table and then look at how many parts. So I can have 2 columns of table, and I can have this one block, one cell. So I can have this a cell, another cell, another cell, another cell. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells. So it gives me 5 rows because I'm also gonna have on this 1 cell, 2, 3, 4 cell. So, but I want to create first a 2 columns table plus 5 rows. So I'm gonna go to view and then switch to my template, to my document. So I'll go to insert table. So I need 2 columns, 3, 4, 5 row, and then I'm gonna go inside, click enter on each one, enter to make them big. But before I make them big, I wanna first go to layout and then change my margin. I'll use a narrow so that you can have a big gap, and then you click here and then move your table so it can fit almost the whole page. At least I will leave it like this. I don't want my CV to be more. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to in each table, each cell, and then click more, enter, click enter, enter, and inside, enter. I'm gonna try to get, now sometimes there's another way I can just do like this, click and then go to layout, and then I want my height to be, all of them to have the same height. I can increase the height for all of them, and look at on the bottom, I can keep on increasing my height. So what I'm gonna do now here, I'm increasing my height so that can fit now, and then I'm gonna first click here and move this table to be on top like this. I don't want to be more out. Now, if you look at here, it's more out. So I'm gonna click the entire table and then go to layout, minimize my height a little bit so I can fit in my page. Now it's fit in the page. I don't want to have the second page. I can drag a little bit like this. I'm gonna try to make this line to be on the page. And the only side here, man, it's this side. Okay, now we have our form of CV. Okay, now if you look here, there is too much gap on the bottom. So what I'll do now here, I'm gonna go to layout, and when I go to layout, I'm gonna go to customer margin, and the bottom side that I'm struggling, I'll try to make it more lower so that it can go more down. I say yes, ignore. Now I can move my table more down without going to next page. Okay, once you finish, once you get your page, then we're gonna look at the template. If you look at, we're gonna go to view and then look at our template. You see this distance between here and here. This is small, this is big, so I'm gonna minimize this width. The width of this column, I'm gonna go to suite, and then also look at the first block. It's a little bit bigger, and the second is not so big. So I'll keep this and this the same size, and this the same size, and this. So I will have this, the first one, and the third one, the last one, have the same size, and this one a little bit small. So I'm gonna go back to suite. So firstly, I will move this back. And then secondly, I need this to remain this way, but I need this to be a little bit small as well. Also need to be this big. That's how the CV works. Now we're done with this, and then what you do, change the background. I'm gonna highlight these cells, this column. I highlight this column, and I'm gonna go change the color for this. I'm gonna go to home and then choose the color, which using this color. If you look, if I go to view, yes, that's the color. Now on this one here, we're gonna insert a shape. Now we need to insert this shape so that we can insert the image. I'm gonna go first to insert the image. I'm gonna use my own image. I'm gonna go to insert and then take the image in on my desktop and then insert the image. It's a little bit bigger. I can crop it.
The air, the pain I felt is paid